this. Ready? Okay. Hi, diddly-ho, sailing we will go, sending all our foes down to Davy Jones below, and it's hi, diddly-ho, sailing we will go. Oh, yeah! After shows, guitarists would come running up to Mad Dog, and they'd be like, what were you doing? Because he couldn't do the exact same power chords or
flexibility issues.
He had to make up his own Mad Dog scale of rock and roll, and it was so cool to watch people flock to him.
You do get that acceptance when you're on stage and you do something well, and you forget about having disorder, and for you, that moment is just you. What I liked about doing it is the character that I developed for the Mad Dog Madison. I didn't have to hide the issues physically, because I walk differently because I'm stiff, or just even the facial features that the disorder has works well. Kind of ignored it because I didn't want to think about it, didn't want people to know about it, to judge me for that.
You never talked about it ever. So we are living in New York City together, and you said, I've got this thing. And that was the first time you had opened up about it, and at that point I had known you for 5 years. You told me about your Uncle Wayne, and you told me about your cousins.
This is my great-great-great-grandmother, and I think she was a carrier for Hunter syndrome. Her sons had Hunter syndrome, I believe, but that was way before. Hunter syndrome, I don't think, was even clinically discovered. I was diagnosed at 3.5 years old. I remember just being sick a lot, having to get lots of operations, tonsillectomies. My adenoids were taken out, a lot of ear infections. As I've gotten older, I don't move around as easy, so I gotta be a little more careful. My eyes aren't as good. I feel like I'm getting too old, too young. You know, my hearing's difficult. Just a common cold almost took me out. My great uncle John, he ended up passing away in his 50s from pneumonia. And when I got sick, I was thinking this is probably what happened with Uncle John, but now they know how to treat me. I pulled through it, but it really made me become much more careful. It's given me an opportunity to spend more time advocating, being involved with the National MPS Society.
It's so cool where you are now, man, that you get to help people with this thing that was once a prison cell and now is absolutely an art museum. It's just so cool, dude.
Yeah, well, thank you. When I was diagnosed in 1980, the MPS Society had only been around for 2 years and was just a family support, just a few mothers getting together. As time went by, the society became bigger, and we started the Adult Resource Committee. This woman named Denise Dangle, she was a big role model in the adult committee because she was a fierce advocate. She kind of just pulled me in, like, I don't want to do this, I'm happy in my life. Oh no, you gotta do this. And just kind of being forced to be engaged in it, it changes the way you deal with the disorder. No one wants it, but you can't escape it. So try to find a purpose that you can fill your life with what you're given. My experiences playing on stage, I think, have been very helpful because they need someone to talk to a group of scientists, talk to families. They would bring me up there and I would just start talking and make people laugh or just sharing these stories. It's important for the scientists and people who are working on these different treatments to see actually the people being affected, so it gives a face and a name to their work. And it can be encouraging to a lot of the younger kids to have someone to look up to that many of us didn't. So by doing this, we all can make an impact. And there are really touching moments where you have families and they might have lost their child and they see me and they want to embrace me or just be near me, and they have this look of awe. In a lot of ways, for me, it feels like they're also in a way, spiritually embracing the ones that they've lost. I've known a lot of adults that have passed away. It's really, really hard. So if I can just give a moment of peace or a moment of closure to someone, some family, even if it's just for a little second, I can feel that too. And in a way, it kind of gives me a little bit of closure.
People will tell him anything. He's just that kind of guy. He's open, he's friendly, he's kind, he's sympathetic, he's nice. Listening to people is a good thing that Mad Dog can do because he's been there, man. He gets it. Who better to listen than a man who's been there,
hear.
you know? A man that can't hear.
There's a song I used to really like by this hardcore band called Clutch. It's all about taking on a family heirloom. I don't want it. I don't need it. You know, you can take this heirloom and I used to really feel that way, and I used to have a lot of visceral hatred. I still feel that way in a lot of ways, but I also see it as, and I don't want to say it's a gift. I would say it's more a learning tool that gives me a different perspective so I can do my small little part to try to make the world a better place.
Whiskey and rum!